Dude, that book I was sending you guys passages of is the most hardcore book I've ever read.
He turned...
Dear God.
I kind of want to read it.
What book were... So if everyone just... You want a good book. Nick, what's the name of it?
So it sucks. It's not on Kindle. It hasn't been in print for like 30 years, and any copy you can find is like $200+. It's
oh my God.
It's called Suicide Island, and it's by Guy Gabaldon, a Marine that was a scout on Saipan. And he grew up in a Japanese family, or he like got adopted by Japanese people for a couple of years, learned Japanese, and then got into the Marine Corps, and they basically took advantage of the fact that he could speak Japanese, and he like snuck off right after the initial amphibious invasion of Saipan, and was like going up to caves and dugouts and shit, and being able to speak Japanese and like understanding like the Bushido Code of Honor and all the bullshit. And he was convincing dudes to just surrender. And he ended up getting over 1,000 people to surrender during the 60 days of Saipan.
Jesus. Bro, the stuff he says.
Bro.
Like when he wanted his Harley. Can you tell the Harley story?
I think the Harley story. That's my favorite part of the story. So he's like, usually he's going up to like caves and dugouts, and he's got the whole system hammered out where he finds the cave at night, waits till dawn, and then he posts up behind a rock or whatever. So he's got the jump on him at the cave, and then he'll yell into the cave like, "Hey, we've got you surrounded. Come out and surrender so we don't have to kill you." And he gives them like 3 minutes, and if they don't do it, he just starts hucking grenades. And
Jesus.
He finds this farmhouse surrounded by sugarcane fields, and there's a Harley sitting out front. And even I was like, this story sounds far-fetched. There's no way there's a Harley on Saipan in 1944. But apparently during the Great Depression, Harley was going to go out of business. So they signed licensing agreements with Japanese companies so they could make their own Harleys, and they were branded as Harley and everything, but they were made in Japan, and they were very popular. And the Japanese military used them all through World War II. So like it's 100% legit. And there's this Harley sitting out in front of this farmhouse, and he's like, I'm stealing that bike. So he like in these sugarcane fields does a big loop around the house to like casing the place. And when he comes back around the backside of the house, there's 3 Japanese soldiers around this Harley. And he's like, I don't have the jump on them. I'm not going to be able to get them to surrender. They know they're not surrounded. I'm just going to kill them. Is pretty much what he amounted to, so he could take this Harley. And in his book, my favorite passage, he's like, and then one of them sat on the Harley. I didn't like that. And then he proceeds to shoot that guy in the head and then mag dump the other 2 guys.
No, he doesn't just say they sat on the Harley. He goes, and then one of them sat on my Harley.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that.
One of them sat on my Harley.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
The passages that you sent us in the chat, I thought the original title for the book was I Am Racism and So Can You. Because he had some spicy dialogue.
Bro, he did not censor anything.
He pulled 0 punches. He was wild in that book. And then he goes through, I didn't realize that the Marine Corps was 100% white until 1941. So he said,
that's why it was so feared.
he experienced like a bunch of racism and shit. And he thinks that's why he didn't get the Medal of Honor. He only got a Silver Star, and then they made a movie about him, and then it ended up getting upgraded to a Navy Cross because so much time had passed. Like once you get out of like that 5-year gap, getting a Medal of Honor literally takes an act of Congress. Mm-hmm. So all they could get him was the Navy Cross, which is the second highest award. But later in life, he moves to Mexico, opens up like an import-export business with planes and fishing and shit. And he's running this operation all over Central America, like Argentina, Colombia, all these places. And then...
Are you about to say drug stuff's going to happen now?
No, I'm not. He just says import-export. I don't think it was drugs. I think it was legit. But when Fidel comes to power, there was also huge communist movements in other Central American countries.
Yes.
And it was kind of spreading. And they were trying to nationalize a bunch of his businesses that were operating in those countries, and he got super pissed, and he put out a ad as a war hero, if there's any other veterans that would be willing to go and join his militia to fight Fidel Castro. And he had like over 1,000 dudes and was actively organizing an amphibious landing of Cuba. And the federal government, the attorney general, had to step in and stop him.
Why? Give him some money and let the boy roll.
It would have been hilarious.
Well,
Dude
now I
is
gotta
kind of
learn
a fucking
Spanish.
savage.
A white guy with a white business owner, Marine, who speaks Japanese, taking over Cuba with a bunch of volunteer veterans. Yes. Yes, I will gladly watch that movie.
Oh, so good. It's a crazy ass book.
I don't think I was a part of that chat because I didn't get any of those excerpts.
I didn't even read the last third of that book because it had nothing to do with his wartime experience. The last third of that book is how the United States government has been infested with Marxism, and he just is like, he goes into full conspiracy mode. It's
It's not a conspiracy. It turns
based.
out he was right.
yeah. And God, how does the end of the book? Hold on.
Just for anyone watching right now, this book, like, Nick was just sending pictures of the book, just pictures of a page which highlighted
The book.
if those texts got released just of those pages.
I want to say some
we
of those
would get-
words out loud.
The book.
Yeah,
I can't.
The book literally ends. The last page, last thing it says, all in the center, is Semper Fi by American, B-U-Y American, dash by Japanese, B-Y-E Japanese, and burn the flag burners is how he ended his book.
America.
I didn't even put this part in the video because like I can't go through the whole book in a video, right? But there's one part he gets super desensitized to violence. Like Saipan was brutal because Saipan was literally like, you've heard about like women and children committing suicide by throwing babies off cliffs and shit. That was Saipan where that mostly happened. So like he witnessed that, and he talks about how like it was especially traumatizing to him because he was the only dude that could speak Japanese. So he was literally hearing children begging their parents not to kill them and shit.
Ugh.
Like it was horrible. And he's got one story that kind of just like explains how desensitized he was. He loved Japanese rations because he grew up in a Japanese household and he loved like sushi and crab meat and shit. So he would always take their rations and eat it. And him and his buddy were eating crab rations and there was just flies everywhere. Like an ungodly amount of flies, and he couldn't figure out where they were coming from. And he like looks over and there's like a severed human head, like 3 feet to his left as he's sitting on this rock. And he just like goes and kicks it off a cliff and then sits back down and eats lunch. Like just, get that
What
out
is
of
this,
here.
an Indian street vendor?
Dude, I have yet to see one of
Hey,
those
that got-
Indian
that
street
got
vendor
everyone.
foods that I would eat.
Dude, my new favorite videos are the people making fun of it where they're like sitting in the food covered in mud and shit. And then they're just like grabbing a tortilla, they're slamming it down, putting it under their armpit, mixing the meat with their feet, and then they hand it off. Have you seen these?
I haven't seen those.
Oh, dude, it is a whole bit now.
Have you seen the British guys making fun of them?
That's what this is making fun of them. It's like those dudes just...
Yes.
Oh, dude, I love those two. Are they British? I didn't know what they were, but like
There's
like
like 3 or
pretend to
4
repair
Brits.
shit.
No.
Oh, dude, because they got like some guy in India. He like repairs shit, and he's like just slamming shit around and like putting it all together. And then at the end, when he fixes it, he does like this little head bob and then like hands it off. And there's these two guys, man, and someone will hand them like a cell phone, and they're like hitting it with hammers and throwing it in an ice bucket, and like they're just doing all this dumb shit with it, and then they hand it back. It's hilarious.
Probably the same guys.
Dude, Nick, this quote from this book. I was beginning to wonder what eventually happened to the saber sidearms watches and gold teeth I was accumulating. Like, that is a passage from this book.
When he's all upset because he thinks that like the colonels or the majors are going to steal his war trophies. He's like, I want to collect all my gold teeth and swords and shit. And these officers are going to steal it all. How do I get all my
I
teeth?
didn't know what the Geneva Convention had to say about war booty. Like,
And
whoa,
frankly,
bro.
I didn't give a damn. Like so they called him the Pied Piper of Saipan. So he's like, I'm gonna live up to the name. Pied Piper is referring to pied clothing. He looks like a gesture, like he just looks crazy. So Guy was always he would wear Japanese shoes that he took off a Japanese soldier. So like it sounded the same, I guess, when he was sneaking around. Whatever.
He stole their J's.
Yeah.
Stole their J's.
Oh, bro, he
Nice
also
shoes, run it.
Whenever they had medals, like if he took them as prisoners, he was taking their medals. If he killed them, he'd take their medals, and he just wore all the Japanese medals on his uniform all the time.
That's a psyop. Good for him. Could you imagine? You just hear
Imagine
GIs
that's the guys,
going through.
imagine that's one of your privates or your like he's a team leader of your squad. You're like, man, whoo, whoo.
They just kind of let him do whatever the fuck he wanted. And like I tracked down interviews of the dude that was his captain, and he's like, I went out. It's just like some old 70-year-old white guy. He's like, I went out with Guy a couple times because I wanted to see how he operated. He's like, I was on Tarawa before. I'd never seen a Japanese surrender willingly. I'd never seen it. You had to shoot him to get him to surrender. I've never seen him give up. And he's just bringing in 20, 50 of them at a time. I couldn't believe it. And we walked up to the mouth of this cave, and he yelled some gibberish into the cave. And I'm like, what'd you tell him? And Guy looks me dead in the eyes and goes, I told him I was going to blow him the up if they don't get out here. And it worked. So
translators are important.
Holy shit. God bless that story.